Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on this wonderful channel. And with the new year, it's obviously another response to the metalhead tag because we got a new one from Heavy Metallurgy. So I don't want to waste any time. Let's get right into it with number one. Giddy up! 2026 is the year of the horse. Show an album cover with a horse on the cover, or a horse-like creature like Pegasus, but says we'll lose street cred if we show a unicorn, which is good because I chose Bathory, Blood, Fire, Death. This is a classic album. I mean, I think everyone kind of knows that. One of the best Bathory albums, if not the best, and yeah, there is a horse. Look at that. That's a horse right there. That's a horse if I've ever seen one. One of the best Bathory albums, in my opinion. Maybe the best, maybe my favorite, I don't know. We'll probably eventually do a discography dissection. They're the first black metal band in my opinion. Number two, Nostalgia. Show an album that you do not think is very good, but you can't bring yourself to get rid of it. I decided to go with Korn Requiem. This is their most recent album. It came out a couple years ago, I don't know, 2021 or something. And I was pretty big Korn fan back in my high school days, aka like a couple of years ago. But when this came out, I was kind of on my way out from Korn, and I listened to it and I didn't think it was that great, but I was at Target once and they had it for $5, so that's why I have it now. Yeah, number three, GOAT. Show your favorite new album released in 2025. Now I'm going to have a video coming out for my top 30 favorite albums of last year, so be on the lookout for that. And I don't want to spoil the ending, so I'm just going to go with some of my favorites. Derweg Einer Freiheit, Innern, really like this guy. Atmospheric black metal, really solid, really liked it. Dormant Ordeal from Poland. Oh, those last guys were German, obviously. This technical death metal with a lot of black metal tinges to it. I really like it. Sounds really fresh, despite black metal and death metal kind of being very overdone at this point. And, you know, there's not really much else we can do with it, but these guys proved that wrong. One of Nine, Dawn of the Iron Shadow. This was some really nice melodic black metal. The album cover immediately caught my eye. I thought that was... like, look at that. I had to listen to it. And I listened to it, and I thought it was really good, so check it out. And in case you happen to give a shit which one of those is my number one, just wait a little bit. That video will be out soon. Number four, From Beyond. Show a favorite album that is not a heavy metal album. I've talked about quite a bit of non-metal bands. In my first discography dissection was Ween, not a metal band, and then my next one was Nirvana. Also not a metal band. So needless to say, I am a fan of stuff outside of the genre as well. Which is why I decided to go with The Cure, Wish. I really like The Cure. I like pretty much all their stuff. There's some kind of boring stuff from their recent output, but I generally do like most of their stuff. This album always connected with me. It's kind of poppier, more than the post-punk gothic sound that they had with their earlier stuff, 17 Seconds and Pornography and stuff, but I do really like this one. I think most notably A Letter to Elise is my favorite. I love the guitar solo on it. Yeah, The Cure, Wish. Number five, The Unknown. Show an album that you can't remember ever hearing someone talk about on YouTube. I have a decent amount of underground stuff, if you want to label it as that, but I feel like most of it has been mentioned or talked about on YouTube that I've seen, but this one I actually haven't seen anyone talk about, and that is Incinerated, Lobotomize. Might have to censor this album cover. I think I'll probably be fine, but it's a dead guy hanging out of a car, and then the back is the crime scene. Yeah, this is really intense death grind, brutal death metal, kind of in the vein of Mortician, just without a drum machine and without the samples. And this album is really short, really furious, really intense. It's like 17 minutes, but I really like it. It's fun. It's got some good grooves, and it's short. You know, if you like death grind or grindcore, brutal death metal, give it a listen. It's kind of slammy too, but I wouldn't say it's slam. It has slam ideas. Number 6, Front Loaded. Show an album whose first song is its best song. I decided to go with a classic band, and then this is one of their more recent albums that they put out that I still do like. That would be Cannibal Corpse's Red Before Black. I do like this album. I will say it's kind of one of their more albums from their recent output. Like, I do think Front Loaded is a good way to describe it, because Side B, I do like, especially Heads Shoveled Off. That's a really fun song. But overall, I do like Side A way more, especially the opening song, Only One Will Die. Probably my favorite song on the album, so it fits perfectly. And Red Before Black, Code of the Slashers, Shedding the Human Skin, Remaimed. I like all those songs, but then it kind of drops off after that, in my opinion. But it is still good. It's Cannibal Corpse. It's always good when it's Cannibal Corpse. Can't go wrong. Number 7, Encore. Show an album that would be better if it were longer. I couldn't really think of something for this until my eyes went onto this album in my collection, Gorgoroth, Antichrist. This is a really solid, classic black metal album from the classic band Gorgoroth, obviously. And it's really good. It's got really, really good songwriting, really good black metal riffs. But it is not even 30 minutes long. Like, this thing is, I want to say like 28 minutes. It's really short, and I think it could benefit from like 1 or 2 more songs being added. Because there's literally only 6 things. 6 songs. It's really short. But that being said, it is still good. It could be longer though. Number 8, Fail. Show an album you bought that disappointed you. Most of the stuff that I buy, I have already listened to. I do kind of blind buy things sometimes, like bands that I've heard of, but I haven't really checked out, and I'm pretty sure I will like them. But usually I don't completely blind buy things, which I do want to do more often because it is fun. But I did somewhat blind buy this because I knew of the band, but I had not listened to them, and that is Kapala Infest Cesspool. These are this is a war metal act from India, which is cool in itself because there's not much metal from India. It's kind of a combination of noise and war metal, which I'm already kind of iffy on war metal. I do like some war metal like Goat Penis and Conqueror, but I'm kind of picky, and I decided to buy this because they had it in the used section of the record store I frequent, and it wasn't much. And then the actual record itself is really cool. It's got, but then it's got that on the B side. Really cool, right? So I figured, hey, fuck it, let's pick it up. It was like $17. And then I spun it. I think I was playing Minecraft or something while I was listening to it, and then I just did not like it. I did not like it. It was just not great. I'm sorry. Now, that being said, if you like these guys, or if you like war metal, noise war metal, I'd still check these out. I've seen people who are fans of that stuff kind of praise these guys, so it's probably just not for me, but yeah, I'd check it out. Number 9, The Return. Show an album you played in 2025 that you had not played in over a year. This one seems fitting because this band is doing some big stuff this year. They just dropped an album, and it's a big one. And this album is a classic album that got reissued that I just hadn't really jammed in a bit, and I was like, yeah, I'll pick it up. I like it. And then I started listening to it more. And that is Megadeth, Killing Is My Business. And business is good. It's got the OG cover, too. Yeah, these guys are retiring. Put out their final album this year, like a week ago. Not even. I thought it was kind of not great, but I still do like Megadeth quite a bit. This album is especially pretty underrated. I would say it's one of the best. Top 4 for me, probably. But yeah, it had been a bit since I listened to it, and I bought it because it got reissued. So yeah, now I'm gonna probably listen to it even more. Number 10, Joker. Show an album with hilarious cover art. Metal is not really known for having funny cover art, but there are still instances of it out there. I just kind of picked this one because it's kind of the first one that came to mind and the one that I felt fit the most. That is Anthrax, Fistful of Metal. This album cover is, a lot of people say it's bad. Yeah, it's not great, but I think it's kind of funny. It's got charm. I like it. I think it's a pretty fitting album cover for the music that is on this thing. But yeah, this album cover is pretty funny. Because what the hell is even going on? It's like he's puking out the fist. It doesn't really make sense. 11, Yearning. Name a potential album release you are anxiously awaiting in 2026. There wasn't really too many. I'm dying to hear. I do want to hear the new Gojira because they're a big band for me. And I do always want to see how they will progress. The new Immolation album, I'm pretty excited for. I would say the new single that they put out for it was really good. I did like that. But the one I decided to pick was Exodus, just because Exodus is a big band for me. They are like the first band I ever like met. It got me into thrash and stuff like that. It helped me get into thrash. And this is their first album with Rob Dukes back on vocals, and the first single that they put out I thought was actually pretty good. So yeah, I'm excited to hear that. Number 12, Collector Scum. In your collection, is there a pesky gap in a band's discography that you are hoping to fill? As a matter of fact, there is. I have every single Dying Fetus studio album except for Killing on Adrenaline, just because it's been pressed, I think, twice total, and goes for like $200 besides the bootlegs that have been pressed. I also don't have Grotesque Impalement, but that's not a studio album. That's an EP, so. And Dying Fetus is one of my favorite bands, and all of my stuff by them is signed by the band, and that's obviously Killing on Adrenaline isn't, because I don't fucking have it. I even got like this like bootleg and stuff. Like I got little extras things. Like hell yeah, dude, hell yeah. And then I got this Record Store Day, mainly because they were reissuing Shinola Volume 1 by Ween, and I wanted that. And then they also had this, so I figured why not. But yeah, Killing on Adrenaline by Dying Fetus. Yeah, that's one I want. If any of you guys has it and is willing to send it to me, that'd be nice. 13, Evolution. Talk about a band or album that you think is successfully moving its respective genre forward creatively. I figured a lot of people were probably going to say something like Blood Incantation for this. So I figured I'd go for a band similar that is kind of pushing the genre in a similar vein and kind of building on what Blood Incantation has been doing, but isn't Blood Incantation themselves. And that would be Ancient Death, Ego Dissolution, or just Ancient Death. These guys are a modern death metal outfit, and they are really good. This is their first album. They put it out last year, and it is similar to Blood Incantation, but it is still different, and they are still building on what Blood Incantation has been doing without, just kind of copying them. And this obviously sounds more than just Blood Incantation. I mean, they've got fretless bass on there. Blood Incantation doesn't have fretless bass. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I think these guys are doing really, really cool stuff. I check them out if you haven't. Listen to this album and other demos. Number 14, Told You So. Show an album or albums that someone recommended to you that impressed you enough to purchase it. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have anything. A lot of the stuff that I found, I kind of stumbled upon myself, or I got from like some person's own list that they had, and I was like, oh, that looks cool, I'll check it out. Yeah, I don't really have much for this. Most of the people in my life aren't metalheads. Actually, pretty much everyone in my life isn't, so I don't really have people to talk about with this. Like, there's not really many people I could go to for recommendations that I know personally, so are we? Number 15, King Cheese. Recommend a power metal album to Marty Worm that you think is exceptional. He's always on the hunt. To be honest, I've not listened to much power metal, so I probably can't give him any recommendations that he hasn't already heard. But I think Eternal Champion is really good. Manila Road is classic, obviously. That's all I got. I'm sorry. Number 16, 2 Minutes to Midnight. What is the last album you bought in 2025? For me, that would be Typo Negative, October Rust. I like me some Typo Negative, some moody gothic doom metal with crossover influences every once in a while. And this got reissued, like last year? Not last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And I've been looking for it. I saw it at the record store that I frequent, and then I was like, oh, I'll probably pick it up next time, just because it's not that uncommon, you know. But then I just hadn't seen it there since. Like, I still have not seen it, so I just kind of ordered it online, and then, yeah, I have it now. And now I just need World Coming Down. I have everything else, besides Origin of the Feces, but I don't really care for that. Number 17... Brain Drain. When feeling musical burnout, what is a nostalgic album that always makes you excited about music again? There are a couple I could have chosen, but I decided to go with this one just because it is a big album. Got me into more extreme stuff. Still love this band. I even mentioned them earlier in this video, and I have been jamming this album a lot recently, despite me having heard it like billions of times already. And that is From Mars to Sirius by Gojira. I love this band. That's a very basic opinion, I know, but these guys, everyone likes these guys, and it's for a good reason, okay? This album is really fun. It's got tight grooves. It's got really powerful vocals. It's got really punchy drums. It's awesome. It's got really, the songwriting as well. And this is like, the sound of this album is something I feel like is kind of missing in modern death metal, in a sense that they have their own sound. Like, when you hear one of their songs, you're going to think, oh, that's Gojira. You know, back then, you know, because back in the classic heyday of death metal, you'd hear a Bolt Thrower song, you think, oh, that's Bolt Thrower. You heard Morbid Angel, you think, oh, it's Morbid Angel. You hear Cannibal Corpse, you think, oh, that's Cannibal Corpse. You hear Deicide, you think, oh, that's Deicide. You hear Death, you think, oh, that's Death. But today, we don't really have that. A lot of bands kind of sound just kind of the same, or just like an amalgamation of the same influences. And I think something like this, where it's actually death metal, but their own definitive style, you hear it and you know it's them, is something that we have been kind of missing, even though this is over 20 years old now. So yeah, I love this album. OG pressing too, which I know it's only 20 years old, but still pretty cool. Number 18, There's Waldo. Show a classic or older album that you somehow overlooked for many years that you loved as soon as you heard it. There was a decent amount I could have picked. Could have gone with Dissection, but I didn't, because I think I said them last year. So I started to go with a newer one that I hadn't mentioned. That would be Nasum. Inhale, Exhale. I've been getting into grind a lot more recently, and Nasum is really nice. I've been really enjoying Nasum. You know, I like Repulsion, Napalm Death, Pig Destroyer, Eat Me. But Nasum, these guys have been... There's some really fun, tight grooves with some really just intense, furious performances behind it. And yeah, this album is going to be getting a lot of spins for the rest of my life, as well as the rest of their stuff. Like, I got Human 2.0 right there, and then I got Helvete. It's supposed to come in today, but then post office was like, oh, I can't access your door. Just walk there, man. Yeah, I need to shovel some snow. There's it's been pretty intense. Number 19. Hello, my name is. Was there a video or stream that you participated in during 2025 that you were especially proud of? To be honest, there really wasn't much. I watched the Back to the Beginning stream for the final Sabbath show. So that'd probably be the closest thing to that. And then I was at the Andy King comedy show, that YouTube guy, which if you're watching this, you probably like metal and you probably don't know who that is, but that I was there, but it wasn't really a stream or video, so I don't think that counts. All right, number 20. Final one, Into Glory Ride. Name a band that you want to see release one more great album before they retire. This is another band that has been, I've heard people kind of mention them releasing this year, and I'd be excited to see that because it'd be their first new album in a while, I think 13 years, so that would be really awesome, and they are getting up there in terms of how long they've been around, so it would be really cool. And they're already in the video. Gore Guts. Yeah, this is their first album, Considered Dead. Signed by Luke, right there. Technically twice, because I got my gold Sharpie and then he tried it and it didn't work. So then he used his black Sharpie. So it's signed by him twice technically. And yeah, they obviously changed their sound pretty significantly since this album, you know, like with the release of From Wisdom to Hate and Obscura, and I don't know why I said From Wisdom to Hate before Obscura, but and then Colored Sands, which I do really like I do like the way their sound evolved into, so that's why I'm excited to hear another thing by them, which would potentially be the last just because of how long they've been around and how long they've taken to release albums. But yeah, that would be really cool to see. Yeah, that's my response to the Metalhead tag of 2026. Do you guys agree? Disagree? Let me know, I guess. Let me know how much of a poser I am in the comments. Rip me to shreds. This guy doesn't know anything about metal. What the hell is he talking about? Yeah, okay, well, that's that.